All right, let's talk about something we use literally every second of every day, but probably don't think about much at all. Data storage. It's the invisible foundation that holds our entire digital world together.
I mean, really, have you ever stopped to think about it? All those photos you've taken, that funny video you saved, that important file for work, when you hit save, where does it go?
Well, there's your answer. They all live in what we call data storage. And it isn't magic, It's actually this incredible, invisible architecture of technology. So in this explainer, we're going to break it all down. Let's get into it.
Okay, so let's start at square one. What are we even talking about when we say data storage?
When you boil it all down, it's actually pretty straightforward. It's all the different methods and technologies that have one main job: to save your digital stuff securely and, just as important, make sure you can get to it whenever you need it.
A great way to think about it is like a digital locker. Whether it's something super sensitive like your bank records or something really personal like your family photos, data storage is the vault that keeps it all safe and sound.
But of course, not all storage is created equal. I mean, choosing the right kind of storage really depends on what you're trying to save. Are we talking about huge video files or tiny text messages? How often do you need to get to it? And how secure does it have to be? These are the kinds of questions that are absolutely crucial.
So, this brings us to the big one. Generally speaking, especially in the professional world, it all comes down to three main options. Let's dig into each one. First up, you've got on-premises. Now, this is the classic old-school approach. It means you physically own the servers, you manage them, and they're probably sitting in a room somewhere in your building. The key word here, without a doubt, is control. You're in charge of everything. Next, we've got the one we all kinda know: cloud storage. Like your Google Drive or services like Amazon Web Services. With the cloud, you're basically renting space on someone else's giant network of servers. And the big advantages? Flexibility and scale. Need more storage? Boom, you just click a button. And last but not least, there's the hybrid approach. And yeah, just like the name says, it's all about trying to get the best of both worlds. It mixes that on-premises control with the flexibility of the cloud to find the perfect balance.
Okay, let's really break this down, because this is where it gets interesting. Look at on-premises. Pro, total control. So why would a bank want this? Well, for them, control isn't just a pro, it's a must-have for regulations and security. The downside? It costs a fortune. Now swing over to the cloud. It's cheap and it's scalable. An online store loves this, right? They can handle a massive Black Friday sale without buying a ton of expensive equipment that just sits there gathering dust for the rest of the year. And then you've got hybrid. Think of a hospital. They might keep super sensitive patient records on site, but use the cloud for everything else. You see? The real takeaway here is that there's no single best answer. It's always about finding the best fit for what you need.
So, we've covered the here and now, but where is all this going? I mean, the amount of data we're creating is just exploding, and storage tech is racing to keep up.
One of the coolest new trends is something called edge storage. The idea is, instead of sending data all the way to some far-off cloud server, you store and process it right where it's being made, at the edge of the network. Imagine a smart factory where robots need to make instant decisions. Storing the data right there means absolutely zero delay. It's all about speed. So you've probably heard of blockchain because of crypto, but its potential for storage is just massive. It gives us a way to store data that's spread out across many computers, decentralized, and it's incredibly secure. Because all the data is linked together with these complex codes, it's almost impossible to cheat or tamper with. It's perfect for something like tracking a package from the factory to your door. And then you have data lakes. Seriously, picture a giant lake. Now imagine a company can just pour all of its data into it. Customer clicks, website logs, social media comments, everything, just in its raw, messy form. Data scientists can then dive into this lake and look for hidden patterns and insights. It's a huge deal for big data analysis.
All right, theory's great, but let's make this real. Let's look at an actual example of how all this stuff comes together to solve a real problem.
So, take an online store. During a massive sale, their website traffic and the data they're generating can spike like 100 times more than normal. Now, if they built their own on-premises system to handle that peak, it would be crazy expensive and do nothing most of the year. So what's the solution? The cloud, of course. They use it to instantly scale up their storage for the sale and then scale right back down when it's over. It's a perfect example of that flexibility we talked about. Now, they still have to be smart about it. They use encryption to keep data safe, and they have these things called service-level agreements, which are basically just contracts with their cloud provider to guarantee everything runs smoothly. It's just a brilliant solution to a huge business challenge.
Whew, we've covered a lot of ground, haven't we? From the very basics to what the future might hold, so let's just quickly wrap this all up with the most important points to remember.
Okay, here it is, the super fast recap. Data storage, it's all about keeping your stuff safe and easy to get to. Your three big choices are on-premises, cloud, and hybrid. The future, it's getting faster with edge, safer with blockchain, and bigger with data lakes. And, as we saw with our e-commerce example, the cloud is an absolute game changer for businesses that need to adapt on the fly.
You know, if you only remember one thing from all this, make it this right here. On-premises gives you total control. The cloud gives you incredible flexibility. And hybrid? Well, it tries to give you the best of both worlds. Simple as that.
And that's where we'll leave it. We are creating more data every single day than at any other point in human history. The solutions we've talked about are amazing, but the challenges are just going to get bigger and bigger. So it kind of leaves you with this big question to chew on. As our universe of data just keeps expanding at this mind-boggling rate, what will the storage of tomorrow even look like? Thanks so much for joining me.